Hey y'all, I just wanted to go a little further into the food aspects of everything. On my last one, I went over the carbs, where you want to keep it about 12 grams total net carbs on every meal. That's including your snacks. But what I want to do is dig a little deeper into it about the fact that your first week, just to kickstart it, just to help maybe plow through flushing the toxins out, preparing your body. If it's something you can stand to do, the first 5 to 7 days, you actually may want to do a 6 grams total net carbs on every meal. This will basically bring the carbs lower. And during that 5 to 7 days, you may want to do no sugar at all. And that's why you would want to do 6 grams of carbs, so that you are bringing it down as low as you can. Again, if you do exercises daily and you bust a tail, I wouldn't suggest you go that low unless you consult a doctor first. Just because you need those carbs to burn for exercise, and basically so you don't, so you're not in the middle of a workout and then you're flat out on the floor passed out. So the first 5 to 7 days, this could be the week that you give yourself to prepare for the next week. You're gonna do the exercises. You're gonna work up to those 10,000 steps a day. That 5 to 10 miles a day walking, or 5 miles walking, and then an hour of doing a class at the gym, or your 30 minutes, every other day, 30 minutes weight training, because that also helps to build up bones, especially for us women. And you don't want to go massively unless you just want to bulk up. You want to keep your weights, because they'll tell you to do a lot, but you go with your gut, honey. And do 5 pounds, 10 pounds. You want the weight to come off before you actually start those 20-pound weights. Just saying. Because what you'll tend to do is build muscle underneath the fat that hasn't been lost yet, and then you actually look bigger, and the weight will go up, the scale will go up. And muscle does burn fat, so the more muscle you have, the more fat it'll burn. But in the beginning, you're going to be like, oh my God, this is the reverse of what I wanted. Things take time sometimes. So think smaller numbers and work yourself up. You didn't get to where you are overnight. It may have seemed like it, but you didn't. So you won't get where you're going overnight either. So basically that first 5 to 7 days, do your 6 total net carbs. Again, total net carbs minus your fiber. That's what you're left with. That's what you want to kind of work with on each meal, including your snacks. And you'd be surprised at how many carbs you actually consume in every meal. And then there's a tea that I love to drink. It tastes just like an atomic fireball. Like when we were kids, and you keep the plastic because you were not going to be able to keep that in your mouth all the time, except for those certain kids that either showing off or really had no taste buds. I don't know, maybe they'd already burned them off with the ovens, I don't know. But it has 2 bags of oolong, 2 bags of the green tea. You'll want to use 1 cup of water, bring it to a bowl with the bags in it, and then steep it. For anyone who don't know what that is, because I had to Google it the very first time, take it off the heat, let the water cool completely down with the bags in it, and take them out, wring them out, and compost or throw them in the trash. From there, you want to get a 2-quart pitcher. I like the one from Rubbermaid that has a screw-on red top and a little clip-on lid, so that I can pour it out into my cup. Alright, so you pour the tea in there. You'll want to do about 3 tablespoons of cinnamon, 3 to 4, depending on what, your taste. You can do less. You'll want to use a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Yes, cayenne. It's going to be a little hot. Again, think Atomic Fireball. And then you'll want to use a teaspoon of ginger. Use fresh. You may want to use a little less, because that can have a bite too. But again, you want that heat. Not to mention that ginger aids in digestion and keeps your belly from actually getting heartburn. So it helps with that. The cayenne helps to speed up your metabolism. The cinnamon, it helps to regulate blood sugars. Get them down. In case you do happen to eat too much. And then you'll want to use about 2 to 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. The one I like to use, because it tastes more like apples instead of like vinegar, it still has a slight vinegar taste to it, is the apple cider vinegar with the mother in it. Just look at the label, and it'll look a little like dirty on the bottom. That's the mother in it. And then you just want to shake up that bottle before you use it. Okay, so we add all this, and then you'll want to put a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract in it. And you'll want to take Himalayan pink salt. I just take a grinder, and you can use any kind of mineral salt, but I take the grinder and I do 3 twists of it. And then you'll want to add your sweetener. Now, if you grew up on artificial sweeteners like me, even I've grown to where I like the Splenda Natural stevia. And it's not as bitter as the regular stevia. And it's quite sweet, and it doesn't have that mechanical taste to it like regular Splenda. So you can use something like that. I use 3 to 4 packets of it in there. You can also use honey. You may have to use a little extra honey. You might have to use like a tablespoon of honey, maybe a tablespoon and a half of honey to sweeten it. And then you can use either real milk, which again has a little bit of sweetness to it. Use real milk, or you can use almond milk, coconut milk, soy milk, whatever kind of milk that you like. And you want to put about a half a cup of them. Now, it's going to be a little grindy, but that's why you have to shake it up. And that's why I bought the shaker cup. It has this cool little wire whisk in it, little round whiskey thing, and it'll shake through everything and shake it up every time. So you then take the 2 quarts, pitcher thing, and you fill it full of ice. You want to leave that little lip at the top that you screw the top on. So you just kind of want it flush to the top. And then you want to add water to the same point. Put the lid on and shake it. Shake it, shake it, shake it. And so then what you want to do is, the first time, so I have ice, because I love ice. I love really cold things to drink. Except for coffee, it's weird. But you'll want to take the lid off and pour it into your shaker cup. After that, you just will, take the little clip-off lid and pour the liquid in it until you need more ice. But then every time you go to drink, you just shake it up and then drink some. And what this actually helped me do was it flushed out my system. It kept me fuller because it does have all the flavors. It helped peak your metabolism. And, that's why I kind of call it like a toxin flush. sort of tea drink. And I love it. So, in between breakfast to your snack, you gotta wait 3 to 4 hours. When you're already cutting back, you're hungry, right? And if you haven't yet switched to full water and you're trying to get rid of the sodas, okay, so you need the caffeine, you need your soda, you're hungry, you drink this drink. And it actually curbs your appetite as well. It's awesome. Love this drink. So that's, something that you may want to look into. Try it. If you can't stand the cayenne, because I know a lot of first impressions are, oh, my stomach, I can't do that. You don't know. The ginger may actually do like it did me. It didn't cause acid reflux. It didn't cause heartburn. It worked great. And to try it first. If the teaspoon is too much hot, bring it down to a half a teaspoon. But you want some cayenne in there. If you can't stand that, just do a couple pinches of cayenne. Because there's all kinds of different hots of cayenne too when you go to the seasoning aisle. Now, if you're using fresh, you definitely may want to tweak that. Because, fresh to dried can be a little hotter than the store-bought seasonings. But that's something that you may want to think about too, is that first week to prepare your body, prepare your mind, that the second week you get to eat a little more. Ain't nothing like that, right? And what it does is it helps to clean out things. It helps to prepare you. But it's not something you have to do. I did the 12 grams total net carbs. But I did do the tea in between meals. And when I say meals, I mean your snacks too. Your snacks just need to be a little smaller than your meals. Because you don't want to feel like you're starving. And you don't want to feel like giving up. Because ain't no reason to give up. Even if you have what they call a cheat day, there ain't no cheat day. There's a day that you wanted a piece of cheesecake. There's a day that you wanted something that you feel you shouldn't have. And the only reason you feel you shouldn't have it is because we've been told since we were little girls, I guess little boys too, that you shouldn't eat that. Margarine. We've been told not to eat margarine, right? Google that mess. Margarine was made for farm animals to make them fat. They found out that it actually made them lose weight. So they sold it to Americans, as a diet butter. Melt that stuff. Water, oil. Ugh. Use real butter. Melt a little bit, add it with some avocado oil. Got it at Aldi's. Then you got extra virgin olive oil. Use that with the butter. If you don't use too much, smear that on your toast. And you want to go with 100% whole wheat bread when you eat bread. And if you don't, just eat a little less of it. Because your 100% whole wheat, it's got more fiber, it breaks down better. And drink that water. We're supposed to have 8 ounces glasses of water a day. Then we're told, well, you got to drink your weight in water. But that's not really the whole truth either. There's a whole calculation. But if you start drinking water, the more water you want to drink. And it's going to also help flush that out. So in between drinking the tea, drink some water. The tea's going to help with that caffeine headache. It's like if you drink coffee, it'll help with that caffeine headache from coming off those sodas. Because that's a real thing and that hurts. It's hateful. So, take that in consideration. Your first weekend. If you can do it, you go, girl. But if you can't, it's all right. Shoot, I started at 12. Have a good day. Bye.